Happy Monday, listeners, and welcome back to the Morning 4 podcast. I'm your host, Katie Parsons, and I am coming off a fantastic weekend of work, family time, and even some Starbucks breakfast in bed, courtesy of my husband as a thank you on Mother's Day. However you spent your time this weekend, I hope it was a good one. Of course, now we've arrived at Monday. I know, most people are a little bit scared of Mondays, but I'm trying to reclaim it, and I hope that you'll do that with me. This weekday podcast is all about starting your day off on the right track, even Mondays, whatever it is that you need to accomplish today. Maybe you're listening to my voice on the way to work, or you're hearing it on the way to school. And whatever is in front of you today, I hope that you see the potential in it, or that if your mindset isn't quite there yet, listening to this podcast will get you there. I can't promise that listening to it or repeating the affirmations at the end or being kind to others will ensure that your day is a great one or even a good one, but I can guarantee you'll feel much more in control of your emotions and your life if you consciously choose kindness and positivity. Kindness, positivity, optimism, are these qualities that you or your business try to emulate? Well, you can contact me to learn how to sponsor the Feel Good News Story segment and let my listeners know that those are the types of narratives you want to further in this often negative world. You can do that by contacting me at morning4podcast@gmail.com, and morning 4 is spelled out, or through the Morning 4's Facebook page for more details. So let's get today started with
Number 1.
If you're a fan of the podcast, you know that I'm a fan of cherry pie. And it might be ranked number 5 on a list of some crazy random Americans who listed their favorite pies. I mean, number 5, come on. But it's always number 1 to me. However, those same Americans did list apple pie at the top of that ranking, so today is their day. It's National Apple Pie Day. And though nothing seems quite as American as apple pie, the dessert actually has its roots in the Middle Ages. There's a Dutch cookbook from 1514 that lists a recipe that calls for a standard pie crust, soft seedless apples, and a few other spices, things like cinnamon, cloves, and of course some sugar. It wasn't until the 17th century that apple pie even arrived in America in the colonies. And there actually weren't very many apples here in America, not until, you know who, Johnny Appleseed, planted a bunch of them. And then once the apples were all over the country, the pie with its name cemented itself as an American icon. There's just one question left to answer though. Will you eat your apple pie with or without a scoop of vanilla ice cream?
Number 2.
On a more serious note, do you know where your food, like apples, is sourced? Do you know if the companies handling labor for the products you eat, wear, and use do it in a fair way? I know that I'm a work in progress when it comes to truly understanding the practices behind the manufacturing and distribution of the things I buy. And today is a great day for me to continue that knowledge and enlightenment because it's Fair Trade Day. This is a day that brings awareness to the movement for a world in which all laborers are paid more fairly for the work they do and the products they create. Fair trade aims to create a more equal and positive working situation for laborers all over the world. Things like coffee, clothing, chocolate, really lucrative products, in some places have laborers living in poverty and collecting painfully low wages. If that's not something you like to hear or that you want going on, one really easy way to contribute to a more equitable fair trade is to check for the fair trade label on products you buy, or to try to figure out the source from where your things come, like local businesses, local farms, that sort of thing. And if you've never thought about where the products you consume, wear, and use come from, today is a good time to take pause and give it some thought.
Number 3.
Today's feel-good story is sourced from WCBD Charleston. I know as a parent, I realize the impact of my actions on my kids, both the good and the bad. And I know personally, at the end of the day, if faced with a chance to practice integrity or kindness, I would hope that my kids would take that. Well, one mom got to see that in action when her 3-year-old son did something pretty selfless and practiced some everyday kindness with what was right in front of him. 3-year-old Lucas Meyer loves fire trucks and firemen and pretty much everything fire occupation related. And his mom Alexis saw that the family of a friend had lost everything in a fire, so she was packing up some clothes for the family's 1-year-old. When Lucas asked what she was doing, she explained, and then he went to his playroom and brought back some toys to give to the child, including his favorite fire truck. Alexis reminded her son that he would not get the fire truck back, and that it was his favorite. She said that Lucas told her, yes, he'd love it too. So the fire truck went to the new child's home, and as a thank you, that family arranged for Lucas to get an in-person tour of the local fire station, an event that his mom says was just as exciting for him as you'd imagine.
Number 4.
So let's get this Monday off and running with our affirmation. Repeat after me. Opportunity lies in everyday experiences. Today, I will recognize the power in the life I'm already living. So go ahead and live that amazing life today, every second of it, and I'll see you back here again tomorrow.